Alright, so this is super impromptu, but if you guys have been following the channel for a little bit, if you've been on Instagram, following the page, My Kayak Fishing, all that jazz, and you saw that I went through quite a lifetime kayak phase, and well, they were super awesome. Dude, $500. Bang for the buck. I love when people online compare, oh, my Hobie this and that, or oh, my Old Town this and... Look, it's a $500 kayak, okay? Apples to oranges. Anywho, what we're doing today, this weekend, by the way, Memorial Day weekend, think of it, remember people who signed that blank check so that we could do the things that we love to do, right? I've got a lot of family history in the service, and they're probably rolling over in their graves right now, to be honest, but I digress. What we're doing right now is some lights. We're doing some lighting. If you saw, again, on Instagram last night, I went over a little bit of this, just to kind of give you a full rundown, and be forewarned, this might be a little bit of a lengthy video, but I'm going to go through all the details. So if you've got a kayak, as I open this, it doesn't matter if you've got an Old Town. This happens to be the AP 120, Autopilot 120, so it's got the, the Minn Kota 45-pound thrust. I run a 100 amp hour battery in there for that. I'll pop it open just for the sake of the video and for the sake of all y'all that subscribe to the channel and want to see this stuff. And if you have any questions, holla holla. But if you recognize the top of that battery, it is the Elf Hub 100 amp hour. I've got 4 of them in the boat, so yeah, dude, I love them, and very confident in them. At no additional cost to you. I've got a link down in the description to that battery. If you get on Amazon through that link and you make a purchase of that battery or something else, again, it doesn't cost you anything. If there's stuff on sale, you still get it on sale, but it supports the channel and I appreciate it. Also, I started that subscription thing on Instagram where for $2.99 a month you can get some exclusive content. This is actually the first mention of doing that. I don't even have a promo reel on Instagram talking about that stuff, but my thought for some of that stuff is to get more technical, right? Because anytime that I've talked technical on any of like these videos right here that you're watching, or Instagram or Facebook, man, I do know, like, the audience cuts down. So unfortunately, we live in a day where a lot of that stuff is controlled by the algorithm, and it kind of sucks. So I'm gonna kind of start cutting a lot of that stuff. This is probably gonna be one of my last technical videos, because again, we live in the era of the algorithm, and just the general public doesn't really give two shits about that. I guess they pay somebody else to do it. I don't know. I dig this stuff. It is my chaos. I love it. I thrive in it. I don't know why. I can let go of everything else in life, all of my stresses, all my worries, and just dive into my chaos. And I love it. And I love that you're here for it. So I want to share some of this stuff. We're already like 3.5 minutes into the video. Come on, let's get to it. This is a Yak Power, selectable, right? And if you're watching this and this whole thing blows up, call the cops. Alright, so there's my power. If I go to my number 1, you'll see that little light turned on. Basically, number 1, I've got my puck for the trolling motor and my graph. So that's kind of like, again, this is my house battery, by the way. That's a 50 amp hour. I've got it on the top of the actual battery case. I can get into that in the comments. If you ask about it, I will be more than happy to tell you about it. But inside of the hull of this thing, I have a 50 amp hour lithium for house battery, and then I also have the 100 amp hour battery for the motor itself. Yes, I can jump those two if there's an issue with either one of them. I have the Yak Power, just the basic one. This is not the Bluetooth one. I've heard things, but I don't have any personal experience, so I will not speak to that. So basically what that does is it takes and gives me selectable power to all the things, and that'll lead to somewhere. I promise. It's gonna lead to what we're doing right now, what we're doing, what I'm doing, what I'm gonna share some information about, and whether it inspires you gives you confidence to try it. Like, you can't, dude, it's plastic, man. Like, you could take a heat gun to this stuff, you could melt it. Look it, I get it that they're expensive. I know, but it's yours. Make it yours. And nobody else in the world got to deal with it but you. And guess what? That's all that matters. So, that's like why I'm like, yeah, just stay rad. It's all good. So, we've got some holes in this thing. Believe me, it's a nice size hole for that. I cut it to almost the correct size, and then I finished it out with a drum hole, right? So I have a little router that I cut out to a bit smaller than this required, again, to repeat myself, but just because it's worth it. And then I finished opening that hole with a Dremel, right, until it would just squeeze in there, right? So super nice and tight. And I didn't just squeeze it in there and push it all the way down. I just squeezed it in there and was like, all right, it's perfect. And then I put a bunch of V6000, which I've got somewhere here. Yes, that's right. I don't crimp my connections. I solder everything. Yes, we'll get to that in a minute. So, barely stuck it in there. Give it a big old chonga of some, well, I say E6000, whatever, goop. It's all, you know, it's all the same. It's like a silicone glue. So, adhesive, sealant, blah, blah, blah. By the way, that stuff is super flammable. Don't ask me how I know. Take my word for it. It's super flammable. And I gooped the heck out of it. I pushed it down. All right, and of course it did. It had left a big old bead and all that stuff. But the cool thing is I was able to, you know, just kind of rub it off, and it went away. You guys don't see it, but there's a giant mosquito on the back of my GoPro. And he's dead now. Awesome. By the way, if you live in Texas and you're around Memorial Day, you already know, dude, it's mosquito time, and this sucks. I've got, you know, the little tiki's burning. I got the little smoke that, dude, I'm gonna get eaten shooting this video because I'm paying more attention to y'all and this than mosquitoes. And push that down, good to go, locked and loaded. And then down in there, we've got the, you can almost see it, right? It's down in there, little control panel. And then it's got a bunch of these SAE fittings. They're labeled to that, and when you turn it on, right, sends power to distribution, and then you can go to all the things. I apologize for my neighbor's dog. He's an asshole. Anywho, so you got 1 and 2, bow, midship, stern. You can hook anything up to anything, by the way. Like, it's just there for your reference. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't know what you have where. It's just makes it maybe help you remember it better. So again, 1, I've got my, you know, my little puck, and then the graph. 2, I have my USB, which I have a nice USB floodlight and spotlight for, as well as you know, I can charge batteries, I can charge my phone, whatever the case, all that jazz. But that does have its own dedicated thing, because that is it's a 3.5 amp deal. And also, as you saw, it does have the, I don't know how to show up on video, but, you know, it also has a nice little battery meter. So, you can see 13.5 volts. I don't know, I haven't charged it in an outing or two, but that's good to see. And then, bow, midship, stern. So, starting from the trunk, the back of this thing, because it is a tank. I don't need to turn it on, it's not going to do anything. But I did take and put a big old Perco switch, right? And it was neat because you've got this angle here, you got this angle here, you got this angle here. So like, this is not a flexi area, and it's not like it's holding a lot, but basically I've got a couple you know, nav light poles, same style that I used for the boat. They're a bright LED one. They have like these tops on them, and they are super bright. Let me tell you, these things, again, I'll put a link in the description, and at no extra cost to you. It supports this channel and all of this chaos, which I'm obviously diving headfirst into. This is super bright. This is what you want at night or in the mornings. I know bugs suck, and yes, it does attract bugs, but you will be seen, okay? So I think it's like 7x or whatever it is. Anyway, like I said, I'll put a link down there in the description for this. Boom. They're super bright. You can almost see, I mean, dude, it's a giant, like, it's a giant, like, cob LED in there. And yeah, they will see you for sure. So it makes me feel more comfortable. So I've got a couple of those poles that plug right into there. Like I said, use the same thing on the boat. And that is all that I have for the stern setting. Midship, right? I don't have anything plugged up to that right now. That's what we're about to be messing with. Bow, okay? I'll just turn it on. But man, I kicked this back and forth. What I wanted to do. I've got these big old bright. I mean, look at them. I have them right here. They're literally ready to go. I ordered both of them. If you have a boat or you just want some super bright LEDs, dude, these are dope. They are super. They're super sick. They're waterproof. Like I said, I have these exact ones on my boat. You see a little red dot for the red. That goes on your port side. Port is left. That's how you can remember it. Green is on the right. It's just, you know, the opposite of that. Those are super bright. And I really kicked around the idea of throwing those on there. And I decided to go a little minimal. These are, you know, obviously they're super bright, right? They can be seen, and they're the right way, right? There actually is, just so you know, like there are laws for boats, there are laws for waterways, all that different jazz. You can only see, you know, certain lights at a 45-degree angle so that you can tell when a vessel is coming at you, whether it's their right side, whether they're turning, all that different stuff. Like the information is out there. So yeah, super bright green on the right, super bright red on the left, and I have a bunch of other lights. And I like to go out at night. I like to go out super early in the morning, you know, long before sunrise. I like to go out at night once, you know, all the yahoos, especially like for this weekend. I have no desire to get out on the water with all the yahoos. If I do, it's gonna be at night. It's gonna be at night when there's nobody on the water. That being said, man, it kind of sucks when you're like in here and you gotta do stuff and you can't see stuff and you're jacking with get in there, and you're jacking with you know, with a hat light. I got hat light in there. This is secured down by a piece of Velcro and all that other stuff. But you know, it's just, I wish there was a button. I wish there was a button I could push and just turn on some lights right here or right here so that I could see it. Huh? Oh dang! Maybe that dude right there that's not being used by anything and is M for midship, I guess. I don't know. Midship on a kayak just sounds weird. But that's what we're gonna do. I got a bunch. And guess what? At night, red is the ticket. I also have a whole bag of these in white. So I will stick, I don't know where yet. I'm not totally certain. I probably will stick a red one there. Here. I don't know. I'll put 3 or 4 of these red ones so I can light up this area so I can kind of see what I'm doing. I don't know how I feel about putting a white light up here because it really messes with the contrast of your eyes at night. And I'm almost 40 years old, getting eaten by mosquitoes. You know, vision ain't what it used to be. Maybe this is all just a midlife crisis. Who knows? But in the back, I will just put some white lights. Again, there some of these. I know them. I've used them. Link in the comments. Support the channel if you want some. But that'll all be there. And yeah, so you'll be able to do some of the same stuff if you're interested. You don't have to take a gamble with buying like random stuff off of Amazon. Like, I hope it works. You don't know if it's gonna work, but anywho, like I said, I use this stuff and you see it. You saw the lights up at the bow for the red and green nav lights. They're the same deal, and that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna put some more holes in the kayak. One there, and there at least. And I'm gonna be kind of clever about it, right? If you turn this around, you can see there's just a little slot, right? I'm telling you, if you're adding lights to your kayak, what you don't want is that light shining directly at your face, because that's really where it kills your contrast at night. And so yeah, so I'm gonna hide them underneath those steering rails and just kind of flood the deck there, because then I can lean over and tie stuff up. And yeah, that's where we're at. So like I said, I warned you, it's gonna be a long video. I'll do some little time-lapse stuff, but you get the deal. I'm gonna drill some holes, I'm gonna poke them through, I'm gonna solder the wires together, and then we're gonna run it back to here. Yeah. Anywho, if you're still watching at this point and you find any of this stuff interesting, man, hit subscribe. You may not want to watch all my videos. Chances are you probably don't, because it's all over the place. It's my kayak fishing, all kinds of different stuff, and that's okay with me. I'm just fine with that. But if this, if this tickles your fancy, hit that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about that stuff. I'm here to share my experience and help people out. That's what's up. So, hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying rad. Hit that subscribe button, and here's some time-lapse stuff. There we go. So sitting in the cockpit position, I'm not sure why my GoPro keeps dying, but obviously plenty of light there. Turn around back here, plenty of light back here to see, and that's all right off of that dude right there. So bam, bam, we are rocking and rolling, folks. That's a wrap. We got it all in. You can see it's a bit late, but I certainly do appreciate it. And if you already have a setup like this on your yak, shoot it to me on the Instagram page, my kayak fishing. Be happy to share some pictures of it on my story. Just try to show a little appreciation for y'all following this channel. Yeah, that's what's up. Otherwise, hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying rad. Get out there, tug on them, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.